Extremely proud for a lot of different reasons. I think the receptiveness that they had to change. You know, you can either challenge change or you can embrace it, and they embraced it.
Lou, how do you now build off of this success rather than go back and not be a one-hit wonder?
Well, first of all, what you do right now is you take a step back and you just reflect on, what transpired from day one and the different sets of circumstances throughout the year, and see where you can improve. I've had an expression, see what went wrong, if it did go wrong, and you also reflect on yourself. This is a time where you look in a mirror and why not in certain situations. Did you make certain decisions? But as a whole, it's been a real good year.
Hey Lou, I know with your history going back to Marty, even in Toronto, goaltending has always been like the foundation of what you build a team off of. How crucial is it to get Robin back in the fold for next season?
Well, first of all, both Robin and Thomas did a tremendous job, and I think you have to, look at Pirro and Mitch Korn, the job they did with them. They both won the same number of games, and both fed off each other in supporting each other. It's unusual to have two goaltenders work together the way they did. So, we'll just have to, as I said earlier, take a step back, reflect, and certainly goaltending is important, and we'd like Robin back without question.
What kind of challenge is it, Lou, with all the free agents that you have to get them back if you feel it's necessary?
That's a great word, challenge, huh? They did a tremendous job this year, and we're going to have to see exactly, how we can fit them all in. But we'd like them back without question. But they have to make decisions, and we have to make decisions. But they're all quality human beings. They're quality players, and they've been an integral part of this organization this year.
Lou, I think you coined the phrase fiscal responsibility. So how do you balance that with keeping the core together?
If I had the answer to that, we would have it done by now. But you work at it. We'll do the best we can.
Lou, how much fun has this been for you? You've been around a long time this season.
Be careful about being around a long time.
Well, you're a legend, so how much fun has this been for you this season?
Well, I think when you see the way the players, as I said, embrace change, you feel good about that. But what makes a year like this pleasurable is working, with Barry and the coaching staff that we had here, and the support people who all embraced change. It wasn't a question of just the players, and then to see the results. If you don't have results, you don't feel good. And when I say results, not that we're satisfied, because the reflection on the last series certainly will never leave. But as I told the players this morning, when you get 103 points in this league today, and you win the same amount of games on the road or as at home, and have a goal differential of 32, and then give up the least amount of goals in the National Hockey League when you gave up the most the year before, take some credit for that, and they deserve that. Those are the things that satisfy you, the tangible things that have success, but the intangible also about the people who sometimes give the support, the players who might not be in the lineup every day, who are pushing the players, to see how they bought into it, how they were rooting. This group really cared for each other. That's what makes it satisfying, and that's what makes you feel good.
Lou, did you have some magic at Nassau Coliseum, and did you lose some of that magic in the playoffs, having to go to Brook?
Well, I think I'll answer that question better. The change of the venue did not affect what the results were. We had to perform on the ice. We did win the same amount of games in both buildings, so I don't want to get into that, and there's no excuses here. There are reasons why things go well, and there are reasons why they don't go well. We're in a unique situation where we have a new building coming, and it can't get here fast enough so that we have one home. But the Barclays Center staff, Brett Yormark and his group, did a tremendous job to try and accommodate us going back and forth in every way we can. So we had that support there. But it stands to, obvious that you need a building. The Coliseum, unfortunately, would be a great place to play, but in today's game, you cannot have a building like that. And I've said, several times this year, all you have to look at the old Boston Garden, the old Maple Leaf Garden, the Montreal Forum. There are reasons why they had to build new buildings, and they're not there anymore. They'd love to have that nostalgia and have that, atmosphere back, but it's the world we live in, and we need a building if the Islanders are to be here in New York.
Lou, what sort of a challenge is it when you talk to free agents and you can't really tell them how many games they're going to play where over the next couple of years?
I don't look at it as a challenge. They know that we're going to have a new building, and they also know the commitment that there is to winning and trying to do the things the right way, and then they have to make those decisions.
Lou, what can you say about the season Anders had representing the organization as captain, and how vital is it to keep him as you continue to try to build something special here?
You're talking about Anders now? I mean, you wouldn't and could not find a captain. He did a tremendous job, and as I said all along, we're going to do everything we possibly can to keep him, and that's the best way I can answer that.
Lou, if someone called you and asked you to define the season in terms of the accomplishments, how would you summarize it in that regard?
I really wouldn't know how to say that other than that we still have a ways to go.
Lou, are you excited about the young?
With the present, then you want more.
There's only one thing that you strive for, that you become, I don't want to use the word satisfied with, and that's the ultimate, and that's winning.
That being said, are you excited about some of the young pieces that stepped up this year for you?
Absolutely. I think that we had some young players that, surprised me. As I said many times, coming in here, I had no preconceived notions. Barry had no preconceived notions. The players knew that from the first meeting we had, and they would make the decisions for us as far as who would play and who wouldn't play. And they took it, to heart, and they went out and performed. And it was obvious why we kept them together the way we did, because they were getting better and better and better.
Lou, Barry said it was an easy decision after he talked with you to take this job. How did you talk him into taking this job, and what sort of job do you think he did this year?
Well, first of all, as I said earlier, it's been a pleasure to work with Barry. I only knew him as a coach and also as an acquaintance to just say hello, but I knew of him through players that played for him. We spent some time together when I knew there was a possibility. It didn't take long, and certainly we're happy with that he made the decision to come.
Hey, Lou, at the trade deadline, you said you wanted to give the group a chance to move forward, and you were happy with what you had, and some deals just didn't work out. In retrospect, do you feel like you maybe needed another goal scorer for a longer playoff run?
Well, first of all, you're never happy. You can always get better. But it comes down to what's the price that you have to pay to get better, and what are you subtracting? I've always said there's a 5-year plan that changes every day. It's obvious that if we could have gotten better without sacrificing, the future, we would have done that. But obviously we couldn't. It's on me that we couldn't get that done. But we did feel good about the group here, and it's obvious, they did gain home ice. They played a real good team in the first round, and a real good team in the second round. Give Carolina tremendous credit. You do reflections, overtime goal, you're at home, you've got to get one, all of those things, those are the things you'll be dwelling on, but they won't get in the way, but you'll try to find reasons.
You said ask after the 10 days later, but how much did that layoff hurt you, do you think?
Well, as I said, when you asked that question, I'd let you know after we had some results, so we'd have to say it hurt us. How's that sound? If we'd still be playing, I'd say it didn't hurt us. But I don't know the answer to that. But I think that, certainly a new experience for some players, sweeping, Pittsburgh in the first round. I'm sure that they read a lot of newspapers at different times, maybe felt good, and, who knows where all our minds were at that given time. But they came to play each and every night, you know, we are where we are. It's on us.
Lou, even though you didn't achieve the ultimate goal, are you bullish on this franchise and this team?
Yes, I very bullish, and I'll start with one reason. Scott Malkin, the owner, everything that he spoke to me about when he spoke to me, and when he asked permission, you know, from Toronto, he has followed through on 100%. He's given me the support and the resources and to do what is necessary to have success. He wants to put a winner in here. He wants to put the best possible facility he can, and to me, that is what needed. It is needed, and you need someone like that. So from that end of it, absolutely. And I think that the fans here in the island, I didn't really realize how aggressive, how vocal, and how demanding they were, which is tremendous. As I said earlier, that the only thing I knew about Long Island was coming from New Jersey on a bus, going to the Marriott, and sometimes being able to walk across the lot, and other times not even be able to go out the door. So they're just tremendous, and I love their passion. You know, we could be up 3-0, and our power play going bad, and I'd hear boos. So, you know, I think that, but I say that with respect, not in any other way. And just around the city, it's a tremendous city. I've enjoyed the restaurants. The Italian restaurants are pretty good. So in saying that, I'm extremely bullish on this franchise.
Lou, it looked like you relied on a physical team, a team that played great defense, goaltending, but does it need some more offensive punch?
Well, we relied on, you know, you make with what you have and maximize who you are, and you adjust accordingly. I think that we had I don't want to use the word fourth line because it wasn't a fourth line, but we had a line that could set the tempo and set the pace, and we utilized those assets. I think if you have different pieces, you do it a little different way. But the key to success is maximizing what you have to work with, not trying to put a square peg in a round hole.
Hey, Lou, do you expect the entire coaching staff back, or is there some off-season evaluations to be done?
You're constantly evaluating, but this staff did a tremendous job. I think that's the best way I can answer your question. You know, because you know sometimes people make decisions and maybe get opportunities, or so you know. There's never anything in cement, but don't misinterpret that in any way whatsoever. The staff, support staff, everyone. PR guys kept you people away from me as much as possible. You know, so everybody was good.
Lou, you've been around the New York area so long, and how things can be delayed. You seem very confident that this arena is going to get built on time. What gives you the confidence?
Well, I have no question in my mind. So if anybody has a question and they want to, you know, put it in my mind, give me a reason why. I have inside knowledge, I guess, as much as you can possibly have. So I don't have any question. And I would not have come here if there was not going to be a new arena.
So, Lou, this summer, everything's on target for a shovel in the ground?
I'm sorry?
This summer, is everything on target for a shovel in the ground?
To best of my knowledge, and I'd like to think I'm up to date because I'm constantly in on the calls. So, you know, as I said, unless you know something I don't know.